Well, good evening. Ira Epstein with your Spider ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Wednesday evening, the 5th of March, 2025. All right, my friends, so today was the day that modifications were made to the tariffs that were put on just 48 hours ago, less than that actually, on Mexico, and today they were taken off on autos and trucks that might even be auto parts that meet the USMCA rules. Remember, that stands for the United States, Mexico, Canada Agreement for Trade. And what this has to do with is pressure on Trump by the automakers in the U.S., by dealerships and so on. That it's really simple. You know, you got an $80,000 truck or a car you're selling, and 25% tariff kicks it up to what, $100,000? So the customer says, you know, I'm not going to take it. Let's just cancel it. That could be what is the pressure. Now, this gives President Trump, again, breathing time. Number one, they know that the tariffs are there, and he does what he says, Mexico and Canada, and so does Europe, so does Asia, South Korea, everything he mentioned last night in his conversation. But it also gives a time to maneuver, to get things done. Is the fentanyl, as Mr. Lutnick, our Secretary of Commerce, said, this isn't a tariff war with our two neighbors, it's a fentanyl war. Really? Okay. So stop the fentanyl. 29 people from Mexico were sent to the United States for trial. I know two of them came up today in court in the U.S., and of course they pleaded not guilty. That's the way that goes. And we will see just what happens as this goes on, but there's got to be a lot more, and there will be behind the scenes. It won't happen with Justin Trudeau. Come Sunday, I believe he's out of his position as prime minister, and we'll have whoever's going to be in there. Ms. Scheinbaum, though, in Mexico, very important. And Europe's got to be looking at this. If you're a German automaker, you have problems. All right, your car that sells in the United States now for X isn't going up 25%. It's going to be a reciprocal tariff. So if you have a 20% tariff on U.S. cars, a 30%, that's what you're going to get. It's going to make buying these cars a bit difficult. If you're a car coming in from South Korea, I don't know what the president's going to do with that. They make beautiful cars, the Genesis and so on. What's going to happen there? There's a lot going on right now. Is that bullish the stock market? I don't think so. So what I did is I went on our website and created today for you a short video, and I call it the engineering of a downturn. And the downturn is for the U.S. economy, the dollar. Interest rates will fall if the economy slips a bit. Tariffs will slow us down. Don't you for a moment think that tariffs do anything but if they bring money to the coffer, okay, it'll change the U.S. trade deficit. But if the dollar drops a lot, it does more, because people can buy our goods, especially if the tariffs change, right? This is all thought out by Trump for 4 years. And what he's doing is he is enacting the program. The one thing I told you here, I said, when he takes office, he is going to run. And I use that word clear as can be. And you take a look in the first 6 weeks now of his presidency, it is unbelievable the amount and speed that all this is happening with. There's more to come, is the point that I'm making. And no, don't take this that I'm a fan or non-fan. This was easy to see coming. And it's here, and people don't seem to understand it. And that's the confusing part, and I try to help you with that. IraEpstein.com, you'll see it. It's there. It's labeled very clearly. It's only there tonight. After that, you have to go find it on YouTube, all right? So go look at it. In terms of the news for tomorrow, here's what we've got. Let's get to this if I can. Here we go. There we are. You're going to get the Challenger Group with the corporate layoff amounts. That comes out 6:30 in the morning. Non-farm productivity data, that's going to come out at 7:30. Trade balance, they're looking for a 30% increase. So they're talking going from about 98, 99 billion to 120 some odd billion. That's a big number. Jobless claims, they're looking for a 7,000 less. We'll see if that comes in. The wholesale inventories are at 9 and natural gas is at 930. And they're looking for 99 billion cubic feet out on that. So where do you go? Well, one of the things I want you to do is take advantage of this pivot point course that I have. If you're a stock trader here, this is one of the ways you look at the market, all right? If you're looking to sell, can you edge your sell point? I explain it in a free series to you. It's a 3-part video series. Go to iraepstein.com, free offers. There's a link up here. I won't show this at the end of the video. So now let's go to where we're at. Okay, so when we look, most of the stock market was up. Early evening futures are lower. We sank back in bonds, TLT, they were down a bit. You finally got a good rally that held in Amazon, but I still don't know that it's made its low. A nice rally off the lows in Netflix. The market's saying you're probably getting into value areas there. Nothing has really changed. In GLD, up another 50 cents. Tesla up $7. I don't know that that's going anywhere. I keep looking at their sales in Europe, in China. People are they're responding in a very negative way to the man himself, off of him taking that, let's call it the best friend relationship with President Trump. NVIDIA today gained a little bit. Boeing really had a stellar day, up $4. I just think that's gotten too cheap. That's one way to look at it. All righty. So when you look at Palo Alto, which I'm finishing this week up with, you can see that you have a market that made its top here, has sunk back. When you look at the chart action, you have a higher high and lower low. That's not a trend, but you can see the market's in a swing to the downside. It could end up challenging that 177 area of the 200-day average. What's been supporting it is the lower Bollinger Band and the fact that the market's already in oversold territory. So this is not a spot that I would teach to go short, and there's zero reason on the chart that I see to go long. In Dutch Brothers, I'm looking at this market still coming down. It could end up making its run down here. I thought the market was overvalued in terms of chart action, not the company. Up here as it was over the upper Bollinger Band, and it's done what I thought. It went back to the 18-day average area, and it's sinking a little bit from here. It's already in oversold territory. Be nice if it got down there. It doesn't have to make that play. CrowdStrike's different. CrowdStrike has been in a bear camp. It's been oversold. It went today and hit the 100-day average. Its earnings were out yesterday. It went down about 8% intraday, and then it snapped back at the end of the day. So somebody said, enough's enough. It was still down 6.34%, but remember, this is stock that got down at one point to 343. And that's closing at 365. I don't know how much it was down intraday, but it had to be a pretty big number at that point. At Rivian, I'm going to keep repeating, it's $6 billion that Trump may easily say, we don't want to go with this deal. Now, again, Rivian has not tapped any of the money that Biden said on the deal that could be happened. They haven't made the numbers to attack it. They haven't shown that they've done that, but they are profitable again. And that's the important thing. We will see what comes down. You have here an embedded reading. I'm certainly not in the bull camp. In KWeb, well, why are we up? Oh, let me think. Gee, I've told you every day almost that China's got now its National Party Congress. So the conclave has gotten together, and they're now releasing the data as to how they're going to grow the economy. So the copper market, the silver market, they came alive today. Copper went up 20 cents a pound. That's a lot. Silver went up today. So you're getting the base metals are making some moves is the point that I'm making. But remember, you got tariffs coming on so much of this that could be another problem for the market, all right? You're not going to be shipping this stuff soon into the U.S. if President Trump goes after copper and metals like that. You have a lower low coming right up into the key resistance. I say you've got to hang back a little bit on anything China and let all the news come out. It's a 6-day meeting, and you want to let the parts of it that they release because of time differences come out. Read the news first thing in the morning. I'm reading at 3, 4 in the morning, that news, and get a feel for what they're doing. In Toll Brothers, you have a fully embedded reading. If you lose it, then I can make the argument the market's gotten too cheap. Might want to get back into wherever the 18-day average is. Until that occurs, rallies like you're getting today, the pros are still going to sell short until they see that the momentum is being lost or is lost. Tesla, all you did is come down to the 200-day average and the Bollinger Band in your holding. Remember, this was 470. You're now today at the low point 267. It's given up a little bit of value, I'd say. In the financials, I know that people keep saying they like this. I don't see why. I'm not seeing it at all. You have nothing. You have a market that's got a broad stroke up here of resistance on ways back up. There's just no play here. I can see short covering. I see that you hit the Bollinger Band, but as a chartist, that's all I'm seeing. Yesterday in XLI, to me, was the cover short day. So getting a bounce of 1.5% in the industrials, no surprise. You hit the 200-day average in the Bollinger Band in an oversold condition. On the energies, Trump is determined to see energies go down. He made a point last night, again, of not mentioning the stock market, but he certainly said, drill, baby, drill. And he's talking of a lot of money to be spent in Alaska to get natural gas to the market, so on and so forth. Yet the energy select sector still acting poor. It's out of the Bollinger Band. It's getting overdone. That's all that I could say. Gold has no trend here. I still like it as a hedge. Don't get me wrong. I like gold. But it's sideways action. It's out of the downtrend, but not in an uptrend. In the silver market, you popped today, and now you have a market over the 18-day average. So the bias of the market suddenly shifted gears, and you did the same thing in copper. See that? And I expected that sooner or later, if copper or these markets got to move because China said something, and today was the first real day of the meeting, well, you got what the market did. Next, in the BND. So as much as I think interest rates are going to fall even further, there's a time and a place where markets run out of that momentum, and you just did. Remember, this represents as you're going up, you have falling rates. As you come down, you've got increasing rates. And that's saying to me that the market wants to see a bit of a blip back up in rates. Dollar getting hurt pretty hard right here, as you can see. And FXE, the other side of the spectrum. Why? Because Europe is saying, we're going to break our own austerity rules. We have to defend ourselves. Otherwise, why are we here? And they are going to borrow. They are going to spend on defense. They can't make it all. They'll be spending elsewhere, but they have to spend, baby, spend, because they don't have the U.S. under Trump as their blanket. They should have done this over the past 4 years. They didn't. They now have to do it all at one time. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm Ira Epstein. I'll catch up with you all first thing in the morning. Take care.